Dan untuk berbincang berkenaan dengan TPPA dan juga perkembangan hari terakhir rundingan di Kota Kinabalu, kita bersama dengan Presiden Persatuan Usahawan Internet Muhammad Azrul Muhammad Noor dan juga Presiden EcoKnights Yasmin Rasyid. Hi, thank you for joining us today. Now, first of all, let's talk about the negotiation itself. We started, I think, 15th of July, and now was today's the last day, 25th of July, and a communication or a press release, joint press release was issued saying that it was a good discussion. They've resolved a few issues, but there's still issues to be resolved, and I think they're looking forward to resolving those issues in the 19th round, which is to be held in Brunei. So what can we make of it so far? Because I think we've got positive response to the negotiation and how it's being done, and we've got negative response to the negotiation and also how it's being done. So maybe you can share with us your thoughts on the TPPA negotiation so far.
Well, I for one, I mean, just representing a normal member of the public, would like to know what sort of issues that that they're looking to resolve. Because I mean, if this is something, an agreement that is to be so beneficial for everyone, every segment of society, I believe if we are transparent about what these issues are and share it to the public, then we can spark a debate nationally on how we can look at what are the needs and wants of the country to bring forth towards the agreement. So I don't think this press release that you just read was very general. It didn't really specify what kind of issues they will have to look into it, and that's the part that I'm really interested to see, because we have, of course, voiced out our concerns. Was it taken seriously, or was it, brought forth to all the international negotiations? We're not sure.
Azrul, your take on the negotiations so far?
I'm from the ICT cluster, so we focus on more is because the government is not seeking for input from our industry players. So that's the problem. That's the one problem. The second thing is with the text is maintain secrecy. So we don't know what the text or the treaties they've been discussed in the text. That's the main problem in our concerns. So right now, if you see, because we have problem in our intellectual property, focus on copyright, trademark, patent indications, geographical indications. So what we're concerned that they're not been focused this into the intellectual property ecosystem itself. So we have our my IPO, right? My IPO, but this is that doesn't mean that it's going to protect our country from the US, especially in pharmaceutical and entertainment industry.
The presence of America in this negotiation is such a huge deal, right? Because I think people have been saying that America will do this, America will do that. But some are saying really negative stuff about America. I'm not pro or against anybody, but I'm just saying that look at some, maybe there are some positive things that we can look at coming out of this negotiation. No, access to market.
Actually, we're talking about the fact. We have last time we have a Digital Copyright Millennium Act that actually that bring lots of more threaten to the public, such a researcher, such a copyright owner. First they wanted to decrease the piracy, the things of piracy, but now they threaten, like researcher names what is called, his name is Edward Flatten and Dimitri Skylorov. They have been prosecuted by the law of the DMCA itself. Now they have the ACTA, AC, Anti-Counterfeiting Trade Agreement, last in 2011. Now they want to upgrade into the TPPA. So this is our concern, because the previous past record is not good for our industry itself.
Okay, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, let's talk about. I think let's talk about some of the positive stuff that maybe we can look at. If we were to move forward with the TPPA based on the previous FTAs that other countries have signed, and also what are some of the concerns based on the previous FTAs that the countries have signed if we were to move forward with the TPPA. Let's talk about that in a while. Dan kita akan berehat sekejap kembali selepas ini. Bertemu kembali, kita bincangkan tentang isu TPPA bersama dengan Azrul dan juga Yasmin daripada Persatuan Usahawan Internet dan juga daripada EcoKnights. Let's move on and talk about maybe the positive side of the TPPA or other FTAs that we can see so far and we can anticipate if we were to sign the TPPA in the future. I think one of the positive stuff would be job creation and also the movement of capital even. So TPPA, and with the participating members, what do you anticipate to be some of the positive stuff to be coming out of this negotiation or the agreement itself?
Well, I think one positive thing that I can think of is probably liberalization of the trade. And I think for once, if you're looking at pushing Malaysian products out there, that could be, somewhat advantageous in terms of getting what we're trying to market to a bigger audience. That would be maybe one positive thing that I could think of for the TPPA.
Come on, Yasmin, I'm sure you can think of more positive stuff than the TPPA. Azrul, maybe you want to add something to that?
Maybe we can take an example of a creative industry that from such a life of pie that currently 40% of their workers staff is local Malaysians locals and been groomed by MDEC itself. So we currently have our accessible market to open market. Such Hollywood entertainments, so Pixel in animations. So I can think the market will grow itself, and this is we're going to outreach more about 300 million US audience and the other country that who signed the TPPA. So that's the one I'm looking the positive side.
Coming back to the issue of previous FTAs signed by other countries, such as Peru. I think in our earlier discussion before we started off, we discussed about Peru and how this is one company which
it bit the government instead of helping the government, because I think for most trade agreements it's pro-investor heavy, foreign investor heavy, and they would have more say. If this is a written rule in part of trade agreements, that means it will undermine local national legislations and policies. And then number two, if any dispute happens in the country, they take it into international court. So your local laws and regulations don't apply. And this is really unfortunate, especially you're talking about, I'm curious, who makes up this international court, people who decide. And based on previous FTAs, it's normally the foreign investor that wins the dispute, and the government ends up having to compensate. Even though they're trying to fight to protect the environment or to protect the rights of the people because of wrong practices by these foreign companies. So in that sense, it's like you're talking about liberalization of trade, but if something goes wrong, it will still be pro-investor, foreign investor heavy. So if you look at it that way, then it looks like we're losing out, because no matter what we do on the ground here, it will be pro-foreign investor. And that's what I'm really reluctant about, for us to head towards the TPPA. We have some pretty amazing environmental laws which can be compromised, or even trade laws which can be compromised once we sign it, because it's just not applicable on a national level.
Some are saying that the sovereignty of the country is at stake if we were to go forth with this. Others are saying that, well, Malaysia's a country's sovereignty is at stake when you become a part of the global community. So the issue of sovereignty should not be, brought up anymore.
I don't know. I mean, make it public. Make the discussions public. What are you negotiating if it's not for the benefit of all the signatories? So everyone can say anything they want. The root cause is we don't know what's been negotiated.
Why we negotiate the thing that we don't know? That's the main problem. So in 11 countries they have different tax, different chapter tax that they want to demand in the TPP itself. So the main concern is because we have no input. We have no anything information about it, and from what we researched from the New Zealand, that we have 80-page long for the IP itself, and we don't know anything in the bracket or the outer bracket. The treaties, we don't know about the legislative or the judiciary, so we have problem with the law.
Okay, can we demand for the 19th round to be, which will be held in Brunei in August, late August, to be more transparent than the ones we had in Kota Kinabalu?
We should. That's why we're here. That's why we're advocating. That's why we're making a little bit of hoo-ha down here, because we want them to review something. And I mean, who doesn't want to do something for the benefit of the country? We live here. We also want something good for everyone. So, I mean, be open about it, have several discussions, and maybe I think I think the number one mistake of the TPPA was that stakeholder was elitist group, and the people who were consulted are from the industry side, corporate. You're talking about big brands here, pharmaceutical companies and so forth. But we are the users. I mean, don't we have a say in how negotiations happen?
That's why they speak up the mass mobilization that we have now, because we don't know anything.
Let's open the floor right now to you know, if you're given a direct access to them to say whatever you want right now. Yasmin, we'll start with you first. What are some of the things that you want to voice out? And what are some of your concerns on the TPPA that you can voice out right now, if you have it?
Apart from seeing their text, I think that would be the first thing, because I think once I see their text, then I will be able to not go against them. I want to work with them. I mean, I don't know. This impression about NGOs just against everything is just wrong. I think we want to work for something that's better for everyone in the country. So be transparent. Then we can figure out how we can best help. For all you know, yes, TPPA could be very good for the country and for everyone. But lay it out here. I mean, if it's that good, then why are we hiding it? Why are they hiding behind curtains?
Azrul, what would you say if you have a direct access to those people negotiating over in Kota Kinabalu? What would you want to say to them? Then,
please take us aboard with them to discussions for the NGO input. So open the text so we can know when we have a discussion. Of course, we want more good for our countries in economic growth and so on. But we want, please take us with you on board and discuss. Okay,
thank you very much, Azrul, and also Yasmin from EcoKnights and also Persatuan Usahawan Internet Malaysia, bincangkan tentang TPPA dan juga apa yang berlaku di Kota Kinabalu pada minggu lepas dan minggu ini, dan kita akan berhenti berehat sekali kembali selepas ini.
Alright.